She asked the following. She said, the thing is, do I have a choice before I act, or in this case, react, to transform the thoughts and feelings?
She doesn't need choice.
Hmm?
She doesn't need choice. Just awareness, and then there's no chooser. Because her awareness will allow for anything, but will show where life needs to flow. Or
okay, so suppose you lost your temper now, you reacted, okay? Now, what she's asking is, do I have a choice before I react?
oh, before she reacts, well, she can become aware that that is not her, and then she can not let
She
her
can,
ego just...
but does she have a choice before she reacts? Okay, explain.
She's angry, right?
Mm-hmm. She's acting angrily, right?
Okay, so she can go with her feeling, feel the anger, and ask why she's feeling angry.
Okay.
Go inside of the anger.
Okay, so she can go inside of the anger, but could she help herself from reacting?
No.
Can she help herself from reacting in a positive way or against towards the anger?
No, just she became angry. She reacted. Did she have a choice in that reaction?
You mean reacted by the feeling or reacting to the anger?
Before the anger.
No,
I get
no,
angry,
no,
I get
no,
angry at you, so I react. I say something.
Yeah, you reacted. Okay, you reacted. You got angry.
So your question is,
You get upset.
can she have-
Did you have a choice?
Yes.
Your body.
I believe you have a choice how you act to the anger.
But isn't a reaction, listen to the word, reaction is an unconscious act.
You're powerless. I don't
Hmm?
think you have power. Because it's instinct. Like you act and then you go,
And then you go,
yeah. I
right.
think you have no power. You're powerless.
See, you are powerless. See, this is to be understood here is that all reactions are unconscious. Therefore, at that particular point of reaction, we do not feel as if we have a choice because it's an automatic response. Okay? If, for example, let's say, gee, you've been badly abused as a child, or maybe you've been raped, or whatever, right? And something happens that triggers that memory. You react. At that moment of reaction, you don't have a choice, not because there is no choice, but because it happens so fast, you don't even know you are reacting. Because it's frozen inside you, an emotion, that it's a memory that hasn't been released, hasn't been resolved, is an emotion that's frozen. A frozen emotion is unconscious. And therefore it is triggered very easily by anything that reminds her of it. You see? And it becomes like a threat. So there is a reaction. That reaction can't be helped.
Burt, could you not, as that is happening,
Mm-hmm.
would you not become aware of the happening as it is happening?
Yes. Now, that's right. That you can. That you can. And as a matter of fact, that is the whole point. You see? You react, but the moment you react, and let's assume that you've been growing in awareness and you're beginning to understand, you can, right after a few seconds, oh, look at me, I'm going insane here, I'm losing control, right? I'm not being aware. The moment you become aware of the insanity of the ego acting that way, that very awareness itself becomes a different matter altogether.
Looking at the question, it's like the question is, okay, here's this part of me, these feelings, these thoughts, these actions, I don't want.
That's right.
I don't want to hear them, can I shut them out?
Mm-hmm.
And of course in that, the question is, can I not listen to them?
Mm-hmm.
Which, of course, without listening, there's no love, there's no consciousness. So the question is,
right.
Can I be aware can I reach happiness without being conscious and allowing all these things in the totality that is me?
Yeah.
And the answer is no.
That's right. The answer is no. Yeah. So we go back to what we were saying, the listening part. Okay? Now, when we start bringing awareness to the state that is within us, what has been happening, our frozen state. For example, how do you know that there is a frozen part in you that hasn't been resolved?
When you have aches and pains, or you have symptoms?
Yeah, you do have symptoms, but symptoms could come from many different areas. You know, if you could have been an athlete and fell a couple of times, or you could have, it could be many. No, but there is a way to know when there's something frozen in you.
The heaviness in me, like it's a guilt. Like
That's right, it's a guilt.
It's guilt?
Yes. It's a feeling that is always ready to attack, or to get offended, or to get hurt, defensive. Always getting, the ego is always getting bruised for no reason at all. If somebody laughs, even behind your back, are they laughing at me? That's how you know that there's a frozen part inside you that hasn't been resolved. The ego is always looking out for some threat to its survival. You see? And it's always defensive. It's always wanting to be in control, and it's afraid of losing control. And incidentally, all forms of insanity, okay, whether it's very totally dysfunctional or in a mental home situation, all of it is the fear of losing control and the thought of having lost it. And then you go to pieces. That's when you find that life is not worth living. So this particular question here, the reason I brought it out is because it's such an important one, and it has been asked quite a few times. Because the one thing that I often say is always experience through the body whatever is going on inside you. Do not judge it as wrong, but let it move. And when you let it move, it's no longer frozen, right? It's moving. And the moment it starts moving, it starts healing. I had a woman recently, and she's quite knowledgeable. But when she was lying down, because I do hypnotherapy, when she was lying down, she went into a lot of pain, and she said there's so much anger. And I said, okay, be angry, you know. And she said, well, I'm going to start yelling, and I'll start screaming. I said, okay, yeah, scream if you have to. And they allowed her to be herself. Well, the moment she felt that she could be herself, she began to feel already okay. So you see, most of the pain that we suffer is because we find it's unacceptable. What if I lose my temper and people will hate me for it? People will judge me. What if this happens? What if I expose myself openly? My God. You see, so that's why we remain frozen. That's why the ego has a field day, because the ego loves it. It wants to be in control all the time. But you see, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, the moment you allow yourself, of course the miracle says it beautifully here, it says, the moment you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you are invulnerable at that moment.